that can't be spoken. There's a pain goes on and on. Empty chairs at empty tables. Now my friends are dead and gone. Here they talked of revolution. Here it was they lit the flame. Here they sang about tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. Okay, I'm from a small town called Arbroath on the east coast of Scotland. I was going to touch upon that, by the way, because we were saying about this whole distance thing with London and this feeling that, you know, there's a privileged few down there and all that kind of stuff, and perhaps it's other people that get those opportunities and those careers. But I swear to you, I'm further up north than you guys, you know, and I made that journey. But when I was 16, I had no idea what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. I was about to leave school. I knew I was good at art, and that was kind of it. I was at a sheer utter boredom. Me and my mate were down the street, and he had a dimmer switch in his room. I thought, I'd like a dimmer switch. So I stole one. And then I went to another shop, and I thought, I need some batteries. So I stole some batteries. And I don't steal. And I certainly hadn't up until that point. But as I'm walking out the store, I get collared by the store detective, who happens to be the mother of one of my friends. She takes me to the office, and there's the sign, all thieves will be prosecuted. So I get picked up by the police, I get taken to the station, I get interviewed, and I get charged. 1984, £60 for a 16-year-old. It's a lot of money. But worse than that, it's in the paper, it's in the local paper. So I'm affronted, I'm just utterly embarrassed for my family, my friends, and I'm at a real low. And I'm thinking, I don't know what to do. I was thinking, you know, run away, whatever. Worse, but I never would have had the courage for that. And I was having a conversation with my mate, and he was seeing how down I was, and he's like, come to Panto. I'm like, what? He says, I'm going to pantomime rehearsals on Thursday. My mum's taking me. I'll be a laugh. I'm like, why not? Because he was my best mate at the time, so I thought I'll trust him. So we went there, and we did have a laugh. It was like a youth club. There was no point where I started thinking, oh, I have to sing or I have to, because none of that pressure was on you. You stood at the back, you sang, but in a group, and it just turned out I happened to be able to hold the tune. You know, I wasn't awful, and I loved it. I thought it was great. It was sociable. It felt like it was certainly filling a void. It made me feel like somebody. It made me feel a bit excited. So we joined another company. It was called Midas, and they did musicals. And we got little parts. So I got a couple of lines in Sweet Charity. And you know what it's like. It's like going on a cake and going. And I just wanted more, and the next year I got a bigger part. It was Arab in West Side Story, and then the next year I got Danny. I got a part, Danny Zuko in Greece. At the time when I was actually the right age. When I did it professionally, I was like 36. But I was 18, and I loved it. And I never questioned it. I just thought, okay, well, they're trusting me, so I will just run with this. And I thought, it just felt like, yeah, why not? Danny Zuko in Greece is the most fun you can have without, I mean, the fourth wall disappears. You know, I remember doing it to 3,000 people in Edinburgh singing Sandy, and everybody's singing with you, you know, and you can't shatter out, you know, you kind of go with it. And as a consequence, one night I even corpsed. I was the only person on stage and I corpsed because there's some interaction from these, as I found out, about 12 checkout ladies who decided they were going to make it a very interactive evening.
Were they inappropriate?
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, maybe for the young ones, but Guys and Dolls was a great show. Twice I did it. First time I did it, I did touring for 8 years. It meant I got to do some great parts in West Side Story, Cats, Sunset Boulevard, Grease, like I say. But I wanted to be back in town, and Guys and Dolls is the first job that got me back in town. And listen, I hope you got a good cleaner, because I'm going to name drop quite a bit. But it was, I understudied Ewan McGregor, and I got to go on, I think, about 5 times or something like that. There's a good exercise in thinking, look, I played all those lead roles, and I decided I was going to be an understudy. I was going to go back down a run. But it was for a good cause, you know. I was going to understudy a big name, and I knew that if I got on, that was going to be an extraordinary opportunity. So I'd say don't shut yourself off to those things. And you know what, a great ensemble member will make for a great lead, I think. Because if it turns out that you're generous of spirit with with the rest of the members of the company, it'll make for a great lead member too. The best ones I know are the ones that are very generous. Right now, Henry V, Jude Law, looks you in the eye. He touches you. He engages with you. You know, he knows what it's like to kind of be sometimes on the periphery with no lines, but he brings you into the scene. And I swear to you, actually he almost does it almost too much. It's like, wow, this guy's really generous. But as a result, a lot of the feedback we get afterwards is like, you know, so they go, great show, and they go, yeah, Jude's great, isn't he? What? Yeah, but the cast are fantastic. You know, and the cast feel fantastic because we're being generously given space and time, and I guess confidence by having, well, a great actor and a great lead man who comes round to dressing rooms every night, by the way, and just gives a little bit of, hey, how's things, you know, and then moves on, you know. So you gotta kind of keep that company spirit anyway. So Guys and Dolls was great for that because Ewan McGregor was exactly the same. But then I left, I did Carousel, and then I got asked to go back to play the part of Sky with Patrick Swayze, who was playing Nathan Detroit. I went to a college called London Academy of Performing Arts. I don't know if it's there anymore. I have to tell you, it was astonishingly bad musical theatre course. Astonishingly bad. It was their second year, and they didn't really have a clue. We had one dance class, one singing class a week. It was in a deconsecrated church. So downstairs where we had to do the dancing, it was on a concrete floor, and they had 2 pillars right in the middle. So we had to do our step jetties. We had to go ding ding ding, ding ding ding, ding ding ding, ding ding ding. But they had amazing classic teachers. That's where I got turned on to Shakespeare. They had a great voice teacher, movement teacher, and David Perry, one of my biggest mentors, who taught Shakespeare. And what I realised in hindsight is I went into that college capable enough a singer, but not very good an actor. And I came out feeling like I was kind of quite equally balanced. And there you go, there's another valid point, the balance. I felt so more capable and ready to take on stuff because I was, I couldn't be knocked. I mean, yes, I could be knocked, but I can learn. I didn't feel disadvantaged because I could only do one thing more than the other. You should have a great acting ability as well as you sing. Really, truly, I swear to you, it will get you so much work. Don't be afraid, and if you're afraid of it, great, conquer it. Push on through it, find a way to conquer it, because it's what people want, it's what they will buy into. Or else you just happen to be this great voice who looks nice,